welcome to Caring Connections. I'm Salley Gibney. My guest today is someone who makes Caring Connections every place he goes, and he's someone that you all know. I am so thrilled to have as my guest today Ernest Faison from the Ernest Faison Show. Hello.
Hello, Sally. Long time no see.
I am so delighted to have you here.
The pleasure's all mine. I'm humbled, really.
Well, I am humbled too.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
We both are. That's probably why we've been put in this position.
I think so. Yeah. I am so happy to have you here and so happy to have the opportunity to get to know you better and for your audience to get to know you.
Right, because normally I'm in that chair.
I know you
the
are.
host chair.
And it's funny, isn't it, being on the other side?
It is. It's a little different.
Oh, absolutely. So, Ernest, tell us about you. Tell us about you as a little boy. Who was Ernest Faison?
Ernest Faison was a young lad, whippersnapper who always tried to push the envelope, always tried to find out, just because you said that it was that way, I need to find out that it's that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of like almost, how do you say, from Missouri, show me?
Show me, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So was always very inquisitive, and curiosity, as we both know, killed the cat.
And a cat has 9 lives.
That's right.
Yeah,
and I'm
absolutely.
still, thank God, on mine. Shooting marbles, paper routes, climbing trees.
All those good things. You were the oldest, right?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
How many brothers?
4 brothers.
4 brothers. So you're the oldest?
The oldest.
5.
I had to set the example.
Oh, yeah. I was the oldest girl of 4 girls, so I totally know how that goes.
Yeah, it was pretty important to me that my brothers looked up to me, and I wanted them not to see a bad example. Mm-hmm. That was important to me. Even when I got up and got out and was doing whatever, I didn't want my brothers to see a bad example.
Which is great. I want you to share with us about your mom.
That would be the matriarch. Mom, I love you. She's up in glory now. That would be Miss Mary Elizabeth Faison. She would be the mother of 5 hard-headed boys. My mother had tough love, and she'd give you the shirt off her back, but don't cross her.
Oh.
If she told you to jump, it was how high and how many times.
Wow.
She was caring. She was women are multitaskers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's amazing. I'm older now. Mr. Holly, my camera guy, can attest to that. When you got 5 boys, you got to make sure that they've eaten, their clothes. She had to take care of herself, look good for my father. Take time for herself. It was just amazing. I'm older now, and you can look back now.
I know. I look back at my mother, and I wonder how she did it.
I know. And my mother never complained. She was a God-fearing, heavy-handed Southern belle.
Oh, that's so
yes,
great.
She was.
And so many wonderful memories.
Oh, so many wonderful memories. But by the same token, she was loving, Sally, but she was stern. And she had to be, like I said.
She had to be, yeah.
Because, us 5 boys, we pushed the envelope.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah,
I'm sure you did.
Yeah,
so now you grew up on Fort Bragg.
Yeah, so that's $1 million education, Sally, because as I told you yesterday, you're dealing with military. And I played sports, so, there was all different kinds of nationalities of human beings who were living on the base. Blacks, whites, Spanish, Latinos, Indian.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about it, we all lived on the base. So we weren't going anywhere.
You were together. Yeah,
we weren't going anywhere. So I learned about the music, the clothing, the food. You see where I'm going with it?
Oh, yeah.
So I took a little from this group of people, a little from this group of people, put it all together, and this is the smorgasbord you had.
Incredible experience.
It really, really was.
A smorgasbord, as you say. Yeah,
it really was. Because, I like something, I always liked the way the brothers from Philly would dress with the Philly fade, Holly. You know what I mean? And the clothes, because I was modeling at that time. And
you were modeling?
yes, ma'am. GQ magazine, I went through my little phase, and And it seemed like the fellows from up north had a little bit more savoir-faire than us country boys. So I always kind of took a little bit, like I said, from this person.
You were
this
open
person,
to taking some things from all of these.
Yeah,
different-
because I mean, I already know how we did it. I'm trying to learn something. You know,
Yeah.
get some edumacation, as they call it.
Well, that's probably why you got along so well with everyone.
Yeah, because
You always respected people, didn't you?
It showed me, Ernest, you know, we're all God's children. Is what it showed me, especially when I went to Germany. And I could see that, wow, man, you know, these people, they just like me. And a little kindness goes a long way.
Absolutely.
They eat, sleep, and drink. I mean, we all human beings.
We all do the same things, yeah.
Yeah, I often say I'm part of the largest race in the world. It's
The
called
human
the
race.
human race.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. You know, I don't take
sure.
that stuff lightly, though.
No, I don't either. I totally agree with you on that. Now, how long were you in Germany?
3 years.
But you speak German.
Ja, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Ja, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. It was a culture shock for me, man, because, you know, you're used to seeing people who look like you all the time, and now here you got all different kinds of people. You know, Europe. And I played sports, so I was able to travel throughout and get, again,
Now, what
smorgasbord.
sports? Which sports?
I played baseball, I played football, and played 1 year baseball. We were the bomb holder Orioles, and
Oh,
we
my
won
goodness.
the championship.
Really?
So that's my one claim to fame. I ran track. Yeah, I was just, I was active.
You've always been very active.
I really have. And I think that's probably what has kept me the way I am now, because I'm still active.
And even in sports, you had the opportunity to meet a lot of different people and have
Yes,
a
ma'am.
lot of different
I
experiences.
would say to you, a very good question. There's no I in team. And I learned teamwork. I learned
like
that. Yeah, I really did. I learned that
Yeah.
it's not about Ernest, and it's for the greater good of the team. When it say if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. So I was just like, okay, this is how you do it. And I just kind of took that and adopted that, and I kind of put that in my repertoire.
Yeah, which is amazing because it carries you all through life.
It really does,
It's
Sally. I'm telling you, some of the lessons that were learned from these people, and I look back on them, man, it's amazing. It shaped really this person who's sitting in this chair right now, because I didn't have a clue. I was
Well,
just a
none of us
whippersnapper.
do.
Yeah, I
None
was
of
just
us
a young
do,
whippersnapper, wet behind the ears, and I don't mind admitting it. And I'm still wet behind the ears, especially when I talk to people with the wisdom like yourself.
Oh my goodness, I
You
know. No, I
you
don't
do have a
the
lot of wisdom. If you don't say it, I'm gonna say it for you.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, you do. You know.
But you do too. I think we all do. I think life gives us wisdom if we're only able to be open to it.
Yeah, there are some people that I've met, and nothing against them, to each their own. They stay amongst their own, and that's fine. I never was that person to just stay amongst my own, because, you know, we're African American. We have a lot of Native American in our family also. So I was very inquisitive as to find out about the Native American side of the family as well. So I was just always wanted to know.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, it's important to me.
It is. It really is. So take us beyond. Now you had gone to Germany. Now you spent a lot of time in Hawaii, didn't you?
I did. But even before that, you know, going to high school, you know, on Fort Bragg there, we were on a military installation.
Right.
And then the indigenous people in Fayetteville, you know, they were already there. They were already established. So here we come bust in off Fort Bragg. Look, who are these kids with spoons in their mouth, these old military kids? So we had a hard time.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Well, but they felt like we were privileged and this and that.
Interesting.
So I played sports, and I was able to
So that kind of incorporated
carve out
you
my own
into
little
the group.
niche.
Yeah.
So I got some, how they call it, Holly, street cred. Yeah, get some street cred. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, all right, you can come on over here then. But yeah, they looking at you, they got the beam on you, sizing you up.
Right.
Because as I told you, there was a stigma, you know, Fort Bragg kids with the silver spoon in their mouth. And
Isn't that
and the
interesting?
people, you know,
Who were there,
lived
yeah.
there. Yeah. And I had to throw some blows, you know, because you're gonna get tested. Yeah, they're gonna test you.
Yeah.
That's why I had to do what I had to do the first time. So, you know, I don't condone violence, but hey, you bring it, you got to give it, you got to bring it.
Wow.
You know, like that. But again, $1 million education.
And then from there, where did you go?
So now you're out of high school, so it's like, okay, Ernest, everybody's going to college. What you gonna do? You're not just gonna hang around.
Right.
Our mind is
Your
terrible.
mother would never let you just hang around.
No. She said, I don't know what you're gonna do, but you're gonna get up out of here. Yo, yeah, Mom. Yeah, she'll let you have
move
it.
you right along.
Uncut
Right, yeah.
and direct. Yeah, and that's what I love about her. My brother is like that. I got a brother that's like that. She won't play with you now if she mean business. But so now you're 18. It's like, okay, you don't really want to stay around Fort Bragg,
Right.
you know. So what are you gonna do? You want to go get some education. Yeah, you want to get educated. So I went to HBCU, which is Historical Black College University, called North Carolina A&T State University.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of historical significance. That's where the sit-ins were,
Right.
if you remember those.
Sure.
The 4 young men who were refused service at Woolworth there. And that was like almost like the race riots all back
Right.
during then.
Right.
So I went to college, you know, business administration, and I was kind of unfocused there for a little while.
Oh, is that right?
Like we can be, you know. That'd be you fill in the blank.
I understand.
You get it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So you're kind of spinning your tires there in college, you know what I mean? You're getting your education, but it's like, okay, now what are you going to do, Ernest? You've always wanted to travel. And that's why I'm able to even talk to people like you, because I have traveled and been able to see how other people do it. I don't care how I'm doing it. I'm trying to learn something.
Isn't that great? You were always open to learning.
Yeah, I always was. I would be the one that my brother said, oh, no, you need to talk to my brother. Yeah, I'd be the eccentric one. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
That'd be it. So I went in the military and start traveling around, learned my job. Went to Germany, went back to Germany,
Okay.
where we used to live. I told you yesterday, and that was fascinating. I always like the Wiener schnitzels and the bratwurst, and I like the German food.
Did you really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. Very spicy and
Yeah,
everything like
yeah.
that. But Germany was very, very instrumental in really, again, shaping who I am, really. And again, showing me that you don't need to just be around black people or the Spanish people, white people. You need to be around the world.
Everybody, yes.
Yeah, like the Last Supper.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost literally.
Sure.
I want to, yeah. Let's have
Just
a
to embrace.
level playing field.
Exactly.
Now, if you screw up with your chance, at least you had a chance.
At least you
You
had
know
a
what I mean?
chance.
You had a chance.
Yeah.
And the man never
we
had
do,
a chance,
and we
never
do
took a
have
chance.
choices. We always have choices.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. By the way, I've adopted you as my aunt. You know that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Auntie Salley
All
Gibney.
right, oh, Mike Neff. All right, Neff.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Such
Okay,
a delightful woman.
Well, thank you. Now, on from Germany. Tell us about, when did you get to Hawaii?
So now you're in the military, you're traveling around, you learn all these different jobs and learn all these different skills. So let's see, I was in Texas. I was in Austin, Texas there, and National Guard. So I see on the bulletin board, because there's a bulletin board letting you know what goes on with the troops. I see on the board, HARC, 72-hour turnaround going from Grand Fort Rapids, Texas, all the way to Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm like, say what? Oh, so you mean I got to wait there and back? Oh, I'm on this. And at the time, you know, I was going through a few changes with my girlfriend, this and that. We weren't getting along good. So I'm like, I'm going to go do this. Anyway, Sal, to make a long story short, without babbling on, I got on that flight, which is a cargo plane that takes all the supplies to the different bases. And they got jump seats, is what they are. And I was fortunate and blessed enough to actually get on one of them jump seats. Man, I got over there, I was like, wow. I'm gonna do this.
I could stay here.
I'm gonna do this. I found a job working with Continental Airlines. That's how long ago it was. Continental.
yeah.
Last time you heard of them, they've been defunct for a long time. Found a job making money every day. Stay on the military base. I could eat and see how I pooled my resources. I could eat in the mess hall. I can work out in the gym. I can wash my person. You know, I can store my valuable. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this.
This is good. This is
Well, yeah,
good.
I'm a nomad.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there's a person out there in the world that calls me a nomad. And man, 15 years later, I would go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and moved to Waikiki, met a nice young lady. You know, she showed me the lay of the land. worked all different kinds of jobs, because everybody works all different kinds of jobs in Hawaii because it's so expensive.
Right.
I told you the story about the lawyer who was a LA lawyer. His practice $150,000. He traded that to come and bartend
In
for
Hawaii?
$75,000. You see,
Wow, yeah.
I'm making 75,
The whole
which is
different
good
way of
money.
life.
Well,
It's a
yeah,
whole different way of life.
and I mean, you get the backdrop.
Yeah.
So there's a million of those stories.
Yeah.
I was never afraid to take chances. Like the man says, just because you've slipped and fall does not mean you're clumsy. It means you got something to learn about falling.
Wow.
I mean, if somebody dropped that knowledge on you, just be like this.
I've got to think about that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
true.
for sure.
It's true. Now, you have had so much experiences. I mean, we talked for over 2 hours yesterday,
ma'am.
so we have to kind of condense this a little bit. You shared with me that you've had some really, really interesting mentors along the way.
Oh, I have, and this man sitting there off to the side there has as well, my gosh. So coming to Rhode Island, first of all, my grandfather, God rest his soul, born 1910, Mr. Winfield Scott Robinson, 4'11", the little big man.
Uh-huh.
Back then, it took a village to raise a family. You've heard that before.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's where I come from. It took a village. If Miss Johnson saw you in the supermarket screwing up, she gonna whip you behind. And then when you get in Sunday school, she gonna tell your mother and your grandma you're gonna get a double whip. So
it takes a village.
It does take a village and
yeah.
strong support system and family that I had. But my grandfather had a wood yard, and he supplied all the wood in the neighborhood.
Oh, really?
And my grandmother, God rest her soul too, she was the matriarch. Kelvin's my middle name. Kelvin, go take these here collard greens over to Miss Laura Bird. She's not feeling well.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, Miss Laura Bird was 100 years old.
Wow.
So you know them southern swings that swing. I would sit with her on Sundays, and she couldn't talk. She could nod, but I'm like, my God, this woman's 100 years old.
100 years old.
So I mean, I had some really, really powerful role models. Then, fast forward. Now you come here to Rhode Island. How did I even get to get on TV? So there's a gentleman by the name of Mr. George Lima, the great George Lima. He was a former state rep, passed the Fair Housing Act so people like me could live in Rhode Island, played football with Duke Ellington
Really?
and Mercer Ellington, sparred with Joe Louis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's in the who's who.
Yeah.
He made a phone call to Mr. George Castro. Mr. George Castro had a show at that time called Now's the Time. Jim Vincent, who's the former head of the NAACP, was doing the show.
Wow.
But Jim, I think, took sick that day. And like I said, Mr. Lima just told me to go over there and see Mr. Castro. And I don't know nothing from Adam, first of all. I got a fleece jacket on. I'm not dressed in the suit. I'm just,
Oh, you're just,
I'm raw.
Uh.
Mr. Castro, look, he say, son, I need you. I was like, okay, what do you need me to do? I need you to host the show called Now's the Time.
Wow.
Jim Vincent is sick. I'm gonna need you to do it. I was like, Mr. Castro.
I've never done this.
Yeah. He said, all right, the man never had a chance. All right, Ernest, live by your own saying. The man never had a chance, never took a chance. So, oh, by the way, guess what the show was on? Domestic violence.
Oh, wow.
I had to interview these women that had been abused. One lady had been hit upside the head with a bat. Another one got drugged down. I'm like, my God, how am I going to do this? So I just started thinking. I was like, okay. I took my pad and paper, took them in another room. I said, first of all, y'all don't know me from Adam.
Yeah.
Please tell me the questions that you want me to ask you, so that we don't have a meltdown on the camera.
Right.
And from
And
there,
and also questions you don't want me to ask.
Right. That's what I did it. And that's what I still do it now in the green room, don't I, Holly? Yep, all my guests.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we come into the
Me
green
too.
room. I
We
don't
wanna
want to
know.
make anybody feel uncomfortable.
Exactly.
That's not what I do.
Right.
I'm not going to put you out there like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I got you on this so you can, it's not about Ernest anyway.
Right.
I'm just a
Exactly.
mouthpiece. I'm just going to deliver the goods
about
and let
you.
you.
Exactly.
Why is this woman on the show? All right, well, go ahead. You have at it.
Yeah.
And so product knowledge is very important to me.
Yeah.
It's extremely important to me. At first, it was all about the glitz and glamour like you. I've been doing this for a little while now, but then, you know what? This tremendous platform now is taking on a whole, it's mushroomed into something totally different.
Totally about your guest.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. So that's kind of how I started to do. I got the bug. Mr. Castro said, "That was good, Ernest." I was
Not
like,
bad, not bad. Do
yeah,
it
I was
again.
like, I said, yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
He said, no, you did good. So I kind of honed my craft in, and I'm still honing my craft in.
We all do.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we
I'm
all
not
do.
there yet.
No.
I'm a work in
absolutely.
progress.
Yeah.
But I'm shooting for the
I
moon. I'm
totally
trying to land
identify
among the
with
stars,
that.
right?
I like that.
I'm trying.
I like
I'm
that.
trying. Yeah.
And you've got time. You've got time.
I'm trying.
Yeah. So then who else?
So our buddy, Mr. Jerry Morgan, who I just had on the show, the first African American. I didn't realize that Providence had a professional football team like the NFL.
Wow.
Okay, this woman who's hanging out with Joe Willie Namath, you blew me away with that. I'm like, what? Come on now.
A long time ago.
Yeah, but still,
yeah.
I mean, that's history.
It
And
is
then
history.
him raising that finger up and them
yeah.
winning the game.
Oh, yeah.
So he played for the Providence Steamrollers, and I just recently had him on. And he's also in the Golfing Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And like me and you talk, he came from Gary, Indiana, and we all know that the Jackson 5 came from Gary,
Right,
Indiana, and good night, sweetheart.
Sweetheart,
Well, it's time to go. Bo, 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 bo. Yeah. So and I'm going to say my grandfather. But I think probably for me the greatest role model is going to be probably Jesus Christ.
For all of us.
If I could just have a smidgen of that, you know, God. Yeah.
Reaching out to everyone, caring about everyone.
Right.
Everyone
I slip and
matters.
fall. I mean, I'm not sitting there trying to say my mouth is any prayer book, but I think it's safe to say that I'm going to try to do good versus do bad. Yeah, that's my first inclination.
Yeah.
Especially now, people are in a bad way.
Yeah, you know, priest said one day at Mass, he said, there's a straight line dividing us. But he said, the good news is the straight line can become a circle and bring us all
the way you
together.
did that.
And isn't that
That's
isn't that neat?
outstanding.
And I believe
I'm
in
gonna take
that.
that from you. I'm
Oh, you can have
I'm
it,
gonna take that from you. Yeah.
Father Ricard, I'll tell him that you're going to take it and
Yeah.
run with it.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
you know, I think everyone does matter, and I think we have a huge amount of common ground.
Yeah. Oh, we all do. Well, you know, this is going to go back into ashes to ashes and dust to dust. I think when you get up there, Donald Trump or Bill Gates or George Soros, you see where I'm going with it, with all of this capital, Elon Musk, you'll say, well, this has no value here. Yeah, St. Peter's going to look at it and say, hold on, let me get the book of life.
And there you are.
Let's see what's up. Let's see what's happening.
I'm wondering, Ernest, what do you want to do with this? You were telling me about what you want to do with youth.
Yeah, with this tremendous platform I have here and the Ernest Faison Show. Well, I'm a veteran. And it is very important that a lot of these veterans, under the sound of my voice, the burn pits there and the contaminated water in Camp Lejeune, they put their you know what on the line for this country, because we know that freedom is not free, ladies and gentlemen. And so we need to repay these veterans. There should never, ever be a homeless veteran.
Absolutely.
That is gut-wrenching to me. So one of the things that I like to do is to be an advocate and have people on the show that can tell these people how they can get compensated for serving this country. Another thing is just to maybe for at least a half an hour spread some light in somebody's world that they can pick through the rubble and say, well, maybe I can use this here that Ernest said or whatever. Not because he said it, but because it was.
It was,
Yeah. For the greater good, for the greater good. To pay it forward, forward, yeah. That's my whole thing.
And you also,
Leave it better than I found it.
exactly. And you also have interest in youth, don't you?
Oh, I do. Oh, yeah. Well, they're the future.
Okay.
And that's I believe the children are the future.
And
Well, it's
they
true.
are. They are.
And unfortunately, they've dumbed down our kids with this apparatus called a cell phone. And so I believe in due process. We got to take that apparatus away from them and let them be able to do trial and error. Mm-hmm. You know, there is no easy button in life.
Yeah, that's true.
There's too much technology for our kids.
Too much. I think some of it, I would say that I think technology is awful, and then my grandson will FaceTime me and I'm like, oh, it's not so bad after all, because there are pieces of it that work. But you're absolutely right, we spend much too much time on that.
Everything has a purpose, otherwise, I don't think it'd be down here, but moderation.
Exactly, everything.
But these kids, they do too much with it.
Yeah.
We got about 2 minutes.
Exactly. We have about 2 minutes left. What is it that you would like to say to our audience, Ernest, that you want them to take away from this show?
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard me babble on and on about the Ernest Faison Show. Just know that it's coming from the gut. These things and these people that I have on, I really, really want you guys to adhere to some of the things that they're saying, because they make a difference. And like I say, the man never had a chance, never took a chance. And you got to take a chance. If you don't take a chance, you never know.
Exactly. I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Auntie.
Okay, nephew.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Because it's a blessing. You got Leanne and Holly and all these people, they make it work.
They absolutely
make it
do.
work.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
And for all of you out there, I hope that you've enjoyed this show as much as I have. There's so much good, and there's so many wonderful people, and if we all reach out to each other and share our caring connections every single day, it's just going to get better. Thank you for being here, and until next time, keep on making those caring connections.